señor director del ICD, Mark Donfried, nuestra invitada especial de la noche, la señora Patricia Inestrosa, que nos visita desde Roma, que trabaja para la Radio Vaticano, embajador Ramón Custodio Espinosa. Gracias por acompañarnos en esta noche tan especial. Estaré hablando a título personal y también en nombre de todos los hondureños que conocimos. Tuvimos la honra y la dicha de conocer a Guillermo, quien es uno de los hijos prodigios de nuestra tierra, ¿verdad? Podemos decir de que su muerte nos ha dejado pues con una profunda tristeza que va a ser muy difícil de solventarla y de dejarla ir por un buen tiempo, pero a la vez muy felices y muy agradecidos por todo el legado que él nos ha dejado. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, Mr. Mark Donfried. Thank you for your support to the embassy and to the Republic of Honduras. He just went through a surgery during the weekend, and since he's been very linked to our country, and as well as with Guillermo, who's been here performing before, he decided to come and make that effort, and we really appreciate it. It means a lot, not only for us, for the Honduran community living in Berlin and for the embassy, but to the Republic of Honduras in general. Gracias, embajador, pues por sus esfuerzos. We know the link and the friendship that united you and Guillermo for a long time. It's been a very tight friendship, the one that you've had with them, as well as myself. So thank you very much. We all, me as a Honduran and not as a part of the diplomatic mission here in Berlin, I feel very thankful to you for taking our friend Guillermo into account. And Mrs. Patricia Inestrosa, Honduran representative in Rome for the Vatican Radio, thank you very much for coming. We really appreciate your presence here. It means a lot to us. So to start our program, we would like to welcome Mr. Mark Donfried to you. So let's give them an applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, Your Excellency, it's really an honor and a pleasure for me to be here today. I have to begin by apologizing that I don't speak Spanish. So this evening, I'm not here as a Honduran, I'm not here as a diplomat, but merely as a very simple man who had the great luck and the great fortune to have had a chance on a number of occasions to get to know personally Guillermo Anderson. And I wanted to just share with you a few reflections as to why this individual was so special to me and also to our institute. For us, Guillermo Anderson was never just a musician, quote unquote. He was much more than that. And what we really want to do this evening is not to look back with regrets, not to be sad, not to say farewell, but really today to celebrate the life of Guillermo Anderson and also to give thanks for the many contributions that he gave to not only Honduras, but actually the world. So it's really with a positive spirit that I'd like us to move forward today, really giving thanks for those many contributions. Guillermo Anderson, as you all know, was much more than quote-unquote just a musician. He was, by far the best musician from Honduras, Latin America. We can debate later this evening, how we want to define it, but clearly had so many amazing gifts that he gave musically. But as I said, for the Institute, he was much more than that. He was really what we've considered and what we've also awarded him as, actually a cultural ambassador. And what we mean by that is really with his music, with the words, with actually the many gifts that he gave on a regular basis, through his concerts, through his albums, through his music, through his performances. He was, for us, really representing Honduras and also in many ways representing beyond that Latin America. I think he spoke and really represented so many different groups. So many identified with him for so many different reasons. So many identified with his music. So many identified really with the, more than the music, but really the messages that he was actually transponding through his music. So for many reasons, From the beginning, we really considered him as an excellent example of a cultural diplomat. That was why I was so honored when the ambassador and I first had the chance to discuss the possibility that Guillermo Anderson might actually be able to come, not only to Germany, but to Berlin. And not only to Berlin, but here, the Institute for Cultural Diplomacy. And we were so excited at just the idea, that the honor, why would he, waste his time, so to speak, for our little institutes and this and that in Germany. But really, and I say that with seriousness, we were very, very humbled that he accepted our invitation to come. We were very, very honored that I believe it was the first time he had ever performed in Germany. He performed here at the Institute. And I think clearly that was definitely a magical moment for all of us. The staff, the students, the members of the ICD, all of the guests, members of the diplomatic corps, the place was filled. I still remember really the buzzing energy, talking to the guests before, during, after. And it's again one of those things you can't really describe in words, so I won't try, but really it was definitely an unforgettable occasion, a magical occasion. That was the first chance I was able actually live to experience also Guillermo Anderson. And luckily, again, I'm very grateful, both before and after, I really got to know the man, Guillermo Anderson, and really a man of such grace, such humility, such kindness, such authenticity. It was amazing, because often we meet, ambassadors and presidents and all sorts of so-called VIPs, and here's a man who's touched millions and millions of fans all around the world. Everybody knows his name, everybody knows his music, but that really was what struck me. It was Guillermo, and he was there, totally down to earth, totally kind, totally humble, and he was thanking me, for the chance to come here, and I was really, I won't forget that, but really, as a human being, definitely someone you could see how I think that authenticity also made his music so successful. He was singing from the heart. He was really conveying his messages. This was his music, and I think that's the authenticity which made it really work, which really made, I think, so many around the world be moved by his music. So, again, I could talk for a long time, but I think I just wanted to reflect briefly on, those few moments that we had meeting with him. I still remember also it was on that evening where we then, I took a risk and I extended an invitation to Guillermo Anderson, which again I'm so grateful. I think it was a little bit of the encouragement of the ambassador that he accepted when we invited actually Guillermo Anderson to join the advisory board of the Institute for Cultural Diplomacy. And luckily enough, and I'm very grateful to say, he accepted that invitation. And he joined, presidents, former presidents. It's a very distinguished group around the world. And I think for us that was a very important moment, and it was really an exciting moment of celebration that he joined. We're unfortunately so sad that he was never really to fulfill, of course, the great plans that we had. We really wanted to bring him back to Germany. We wanted to do a number of things in Latin America, etc. But I hope that I think by, again, the contributions that he's given to the Institute, to also Germany, by his performances, through the symbolic membership that he has, his name is still listed there. We're still very proud to include him a member, that still might serve as a foundation, as a stepping stone for more to come. And I want to continue conversations with the ambassador and also others that how we can still continue the great foundation that he laid there. But for us, it was really a big, big honor to have the chance to get to know Guillermo Anderson. I can definitely speak on behalf of the Institute and the board in saying he really was such a powerful example of a cultural ambassador, and that's something which will never change. So I think I will still refer to him in his music and lectures. I'm sure our professors will as well when we discuss, really individuals or music that can transcend borders, music that can speak to individuals even if they don't know the same language, if they don't speak Spanish. And I think that was the transcendental power that Guillermo Anderson really had. So for us, again, today is a moment really of, I think, celebrating the life of Guillermo Anderson, of giving thanks for the gifts that he gave us, that he gave Germany, that he gave the Institute, and also for all those around the world. So therefore, I'm really happy that we had the honor to also host this event here this evening. And I'll maybe leave it there. I'll leave it to the experts, to the Hondurans also to continue. But I just wanted, from my part, to make it a point this evening really to underline how important the work of Guillermo Anderson was, much more than just an entertainer, much more than just a musician, really as an ambassador in the best sense of the word, and not just for Honduras, but much more than that. So so I just wanted to give thanks for that. Thank you again to the ambassador for our great friendship, our great partnership, and for giving us the privilege to have had this chance to work together with Guillermo Anderson. And I really look forward to this evening and also to continuing in celebrating the life of Guillermo Anderson and also giving thanks for the many contributions that he gave. So thank you again very much for coming here yourselves, which also symbolically means a lot to us. I'm sure also to Guillermo Anderson looking down on us wherever he is. And I really hope that we can continue the great momentum that he started at the Institute and working for Honduras and also the cultural diplomacy that may come. So thank you all for coming, and let us continue this evening to celebrate the life of the great Guillermo Anderson. Thank you.